Hello, I'm Lucy, and today we're going to look at just some more floor work. So you'll need 4 foam blocks, not necessarily all of them right away, but we will need them towards the end of the practice. So if you need to go and get that, I suggest you pause me right now and go and get them. Otherwise, let's begin. So we're going to start in virasana, all right? Now you want to be sitting with your knees bent, your feet going back directly, and sitting on your heels. Now if that's a problem at all, grab some of your foam pads, okay? And then just put them between your feet and sit there. If that's not enough height, build the height up a little bit more. What is important is that when we bend the knees, is that we don't cause any discomfort to the knee joint. We want to create a nice open space where the backs of the thighs and the calves can relax. Okay? So from here, just press into your thighs, so the thighs aren't bouncing up away from the floor, but they're actually moving down. And as the thighs move down and ground into the floor, allow the spine to ascend. Now let's take ourselves out of what was the day and what will be the day to come, and just bring yourselves into the now. Bring the weight into your buttock bones. Bring the palms together and bring the base of the thumb to the bottom of the sternum. Softly press the palms together. Drop the elbows down, draw the shoulder blades deep into the back and close the eyes. Take the weight centrally into both buttock bones, so the buttock bones feel even left and right. Drop the shoulders, move the spine in, relax the face. Relax the legs. But still keep the outer ankles hitting in, so that the little toes are on the ground and the big toes are on the ground. Release the shoulders and ascend the spine. Take 3 deep, clear breaths through the nose. And then go back to normal breathing. Reassess your posture. Pay your respects to your teachers and your teachers' teachers. You being your most intuitive teacher. Release the back of the head as you exhale. Lengthen through the back of the neck. On your next exhalation, gently open the eyes, release the hands. And without staring forwards, just lift the face. And we'll start with adho, mukha, virasana, the down face hero pose. The same applies to this posture as it did to the last posture. If your feet don't reach your heels, or if your bottoms, don't reach your heels, then you're going to put a block in the gap. So you may find that your bottom's up and hovering. If that's the case, just tuck the block in, okay? Also then have a block for your head, or 2 blocks for your head, okay? You don't want the head any lower than your bottom. So put that in the right space. Release the head down. Allow the legs, the groins to move back, and allow the spine to lengthen forwards. Spread through the fingers, open the palms, squeeze the elbows. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. So this is very quietening. If your brain has a tendency to go 10 to the dozen, just resting the head really helps. Release the face, relax the tongue. Keep the arms firm, gripping the elbows in. Allow the bottom to move back towards the heels. You may find that after a while, being in the pose here, that you'll be able to move deeper into the posture. So once the buttocks have released, the backs of the thighs have become more soft and the thighs have lengthened, you might find you can come up, take one block away, maybe even see whether the other block will release. Or you can release the other block to let the head come down. Take the head down more. Press into the palms, lengthening through the arms, squeezing the elbows, rolling the shoulders away from the ears. And inhale, sit up. We're going to go into it one more time. This time you can try without any blocks. And a lot of the yoga is about being, feeling, seeing, noticing, becoming more sensitive. So check, are your knees level? Are you even on your feet? So get that together. If you're anything like me, I can't stand looking at a wonky picture. So think of this, you're looking at your picture and see, left and right knee, are they level? Do my thighs look like they're doing the same thing? Can I then sit down into my heels, spread through the calves? Are my buttock bones in the same place? Oh, not sure. So pull the buttock flesh out. Are the heels doing the same thing? Lift the chest and then exhale, place the hands onto the mat and lengthen through the front of the body. Walk the arms forwards, walk the hands forwards. Pressing back with the arms, although we know that they're stretching forwards, there's also the backward direction into the pelvis. And then exhale, release the head. Make sure the shoulders feel comfortable, that the shoulders are rolling away from the ears. And if that feels too much on the shoulders, take the hands wider. So then you can get a good release. If that's too much, go wider still. You can bend the elbows a little bit and feel whether that helps. And if it does, yep, you've got to go wider. But keep the arms dynamic. If you let the arms flop, they feel very dull. So although this is a quietening pose right now, we can still keep ourselves alert, so we're watchful, feeling, sensing. We're going to come from here into dog head down, adho mukha svanasana. So come up onto all fours, spread the fingers, roll the thumb towards the fingers and the fingers back towards the thumb. Now, if you bend your elbows, you can feel it feels very heavy. Okay, that'll be reflected in your pose if you let your arms bend in your dog head down. So, press the arms away and feel, yes, it's energizing. Squeeze the elbows in, tuck the toes under. So that's good for your toes. Who says yoga's about just sort of stretching the legs and the arms? We've got the feet in here too. Then become whole. Feel the hands, feel the feet. Inhaling, lift the bottom up. Don't be in too much of a hurry to straighten your legs because they've been bent for quite a while. Check that your knees are coming directly forwards and start to hit the tops of the thighs up and back. Spread through the backs of the knees and start to take the heels down towards the floor. But don't move the inner ankles faster than the outer ankles. Keep the ankles level. Hit the shin bones back and then start to press the thighs back. Push into the arms, keep the arms straight and release the head. Let the neck become long. Abdomen soft, rib cage is open. We're just trying to lengthen the spine as much as we can. Pressing into the thumbs, squeezing the elbows. Maintain work throughout the whole of the body. So although the pose is very still to look at, there's There's movement going on the whole time. I can feel my kneecaps lifting and spreading through the backs of the knees, or allowing the backs of the knees to spread and open. The thighs are firm, spreading the backs of the hamstrings, allowing them to become broad. I'm trying to open my ankles as much as they will, the fronts of the ankles. Gita calls them bracelets, the little wrinkles around the ankles. She tells us to try and remove our bracelets. Allowing the heel bones to move down and the toes to be long. So the other action you can think about is sucking the heels towards the toes. If you need to rest, come out. So from there, just bring the shoulders forwards, keep the hands grounded, bend the knees, big toes together, sit back on your heels. Rest the head down. Keep the arms long. Awareness within the shoulders, making sure that they are open and comfortable. Breastbone is still lifted, it's not collapsing. The face is soft. There's a deep fold within the hips. Toes are long. Feel the touch of the thighs on the side ribs as you move your body down through towards the floor. And then adho mukha svanasana one more time. Come up, tuck the toes under, lift up through the hips, stretch up and take the heels towards the floor. Relax through the back of the neck, toes long, legs firm, hips high, side ribs open, shoulders broad, elbows in, palms connected to the floor, thumbs moving towards the finger, fingers moving back towards the thumbs. We're going to walk forwards into Uttanasana. Inhale, look forwards, step forwards, have the feet as wide as your hands. Inhale, come up onto your fingertips, look forwards. If this is too much for you, place your hands to your shins and lift up and look forwards. Okay? If it's still too much, you can go back to your dog head down. Place the hands down, lift and lengthen, move the spine in, clasp the elbows, exhale, fold. Release through the abdomen, keep the legs firm, pressing the thighs back, lifting up through the inner legs. Relax the neck. Change your clasp of the elbows. Legs firm. Lengthening the ribs. So don't think about taking the head in towards the legs. Think about trying to extend the front body as much as you can. You feel the relationship that the body has with the backs of the legs and the release of the backs of the legs. Although to the onlooker it looks like you're coming out of the pose, inside you're actually going deeper in. And feel the legs working more. Place the hands down beyond the fingertips, lift and lengthen. Spread through the fingers, step back into your dog head down. This time what I'd like you to do is to challenge your heels. So you're going to take the heels down and lift up the toes. So you may have a slightly shorter stance. Keep the heels down though, press the thighs back, and then see if you can wriggle your hands forwards. You can hear my mat creaking. Press back, keep the legs firm. This is very strong in the legs. Check that the knees are coming directly forwards. Lift the hips. And exhale, release into pose of the child. Adho mukha virasana, sorry. Big toes together, knees apart. Release the head down. Squeeze the elbows in. Relax the face. When you're ready, come back into adho mukha svanasana, tucking the toes under, lifting up through the hips, stretching back, head quiet, face soft. Stretch back strongly with the legs. Inhale, look forwards, step your feet behind your hands. Come up onto the fingertips, look forwards, lift the kneecaps. Even more. And exhale, fold. Release the back of the head down. Release the hands. This time, palms facing up. Relax the shoulders. Allow the body to hang. Still, the ribs need to move away from the hips so that we feel a greater breadth across the backs of the hamstrings. Toes long. Thighs firm. Abdomen soft. Be mindful of your back. If your back gets tired, then it's time for you to stop. Just lie on the floor, some gentle twists. And then lie down, take shavasana. So we're developing a sensitivity to our body. And it isn't every day that our body wants to do the same thing. Inhale, come onto the fingertips, keeping the legs firm. Lift and lengthen through the front of the body. Take the shoulders away from the ears. Press the hands down, step back, adho mukha svanasana, dog head down. Again, heels to the floor. Lift the toes. Work the legs. Press into the hands. Press back the legs. Check the knees. Check the thighs. Thighs lifted. Or thighs gripping, kneecaps lifted. Relax the head. Release the neck. Bend the legs. Adho mukha virasana, big toes together, rest onto the heels, relax the head. Tuck the toes under, come back, dog head down. Lift the hips up, take the heels down. You're going to look forwards. You're going to come into Padangusthasana. So step your legs forwards again, so they're behind your hands. Inhale, look forwards. Take hold of your big toes. So the middle finger is in against the toe pit, and the thumb presses onto the toes, okay? You actually hook the toes over, so you're holding your fingers with your toes and your toes with your fingers, if that makes sense. Inhale, extend. So you draw the shoulder blades deep into the back. Spread through the backs of the thighs. Connect through the thighs. Open the hamstrings. Weight into the heels, but also into the fronts of the feet. Outer blades of the feet down. Exhale, draw the elbows out. Soften the side ribs. Release the head. So now we're actively, softly using the arms to encourage the body down more. Legs firm. Shoulders moving away from the ears. Abdomen soft and broad. Hamstrings spreading. Opening the backs of the knees. Thighs firm. Outer blades of the feet pressing down. Inhale, look forwards. Lengthen forwards, being mindful of your back. knowing when the correct time to stop is. Release the hands beyond the fingertips. Spread the fingers, place the hands down, step back, adho mukha svanasana. Dog head down. Connect into the heels, lift the toes. Spread through the hands. Lengthen up into the hips. Extend. Opening the front body groins as much as you can so you feel a really nice sense of space there. And then back to adho mukha virasana. So come forwards, knees wide, big toes together, stretch back, rest, head down. So these poses are very quietening. Keep the arms long, side waist long, thighs soft. Adho mukha svanasana. Stretch the heels down. You'll feel it's getting easier in the backs of the legs to open through the backs of the thighs. The more we practice this, the better the legs will respond. Really take the inner knees back. Take the outer blades of the feet down. Keep the toes long. Look forwards. Padangusthasana again. Step the feet behind the hands. Take hold of the big toes. Inhale. Look forwards. Lengthen. Exhale. Fold. Release the neck. Work the legs. Shoulders away from the ears. If you inhale, you can lift and lengthen again. So we're getting more space through the front of the body. Exhale, draw yourself in one more time. Legs firm. Inhaling, place the hands down, step back, adho mukha svanasana. Adho mukha virasana, bend the knees, big toes together, lengthen back. Squeezing the elbows, lift through the chest. Inhale, sit up. Bring the legs together. Sit tall. And again, come back to sitting in virasana or vajrasana on your blocks. So we want a little bit of height to lengthen the spine from all the forward bends. Lift the chest. Sit tall. You're going to interlace the fingers, push the palms away, raise the arms up. Lift and lengthen. Exhale, lower the arms. Change the interlace, push the palms away, raise the body away from the hips. And release. Take the palms facing each other, raise the arms up. Now get a really good length. And then release your hand down, your right hand down. Take the left hand on the outside edge of the right knee. Turn the body. Keeping the seat level, shoulders level. And come back to center. Raise the arms up, lift up, stretch up. Left hand behind to the right buttock. Right hand on the outside edge of the left knee. Lift and turn. And exhale, release, come back to center. Go back to the first side. Still maintain that lift. We can just turn now. Looking over your right shoulder. And come back to center. And the other side. And come back to center. Come off your blocks. Lie on your back. Have the palms out in line with your shoulders. Lift through the chest. Step the feet in. And gently take your knees over to the right and to the left. Keeping the knees level. Just to release the spine from all the forward movements that we've done. Back to the first side and the second side. And come back to center. Okay, so you'll need your 4 foam blocks, which I've handily got right next to me. And if you just watch and then go into it, once you know what you're doing, it's something you can use the whole time. But to begin with, you have to find out how high. So we're doing Setu Bandha, the bridge, or a version of. Your feet need to be hip distance apart. You're just going to place one block underneath your sacrum. So your sacrum is that bony triangle at the base of your spine. And now, just let the hips release and roll the shoulders, not away from your ears, but down towards the floor. And you'll feel the spine move in. You'll feel your abdomen become nice and broad. There should be no compression in the spine at all. It should feel very comfortable. It should feel very long. Take the next block. See whether you can place that one on top of the first. Lift through the chest. If that's comfortable, you want to move higher. Lift and lengthen. So you're lifting the hips away from the floor more. At that point you check, how does the back feel? If it feels comfortable and you want to go to the 4th block, just walk your feet in a little. Lift up your toes, lift up your heels, and then put the block underneath the hips. Now once you're there, you have to roll or sort of allow the spine to move deeper into the back. Take the shoulder blades into the back. Just take hold of the mat and roll the deltoids down towards the floor, and then release the heels. Rest here. Keep the spine moving in. So although we're being supported by the block, we're not actually collapsing over the block. Pressing the arms down. You can gently close the eyes. If it's painful at all in your knees, just wriggle your feet away a little. If you want to bring more work into the legs, just bring the knees in towards each other and lift up your toes. You can always put a wooden brick between your thighs if you want to feel like you're getting really strong work out of this. If you find that your back is slightly weaker, gripping a wooden brick between the knees at the same time really helps. Sort of broaden through the sacrum and release the lower back. Okay, so now we're going to come out of the pose. So keep the spine lifted. What this posture's doing is it's making the movements, the internal movements of the body exaggerated so we can feel what's going on. So I find that when you're deep in the pose, You can get a really good lift of the chest. It's very easy to open the lungs, and the heart is open. It feels nice and free, I suppose. The legs feel good and firm. Now we want to maintain that internal movement without making it physically hard. So lift up your heels and just remove the first block, placing it on the floor. Just a little bit away from you so it doesn't disturb your arms, because you still want your arms to be able to work. And then reaffirm the inward movement. Adjust yourself if you need to. Again, you can close your eyes. And then lift up your hips. Take away the next block. Again, maintaining the lift of the chest. Again, you can close your eyes. Keep the breath free. Gentle inhale, gentle exhale. Take away the next block. Pressing into the feet, lift the hips. Chest lifted. And one more time. So lift the hips. Now this is really important. Do this slowly. Okay? Put the block on your pile. And you're going to slowly, slowly unfurl the spine, dropping the sacrum down towards the floor, tailbone down towards the floor. And it should feel almost like you're going into a dip. It should feel like you should reach the floor before you've even got there. And then you go a little more. It should feel lovely on the lower back. So just take a few moments here, just release the shoulders a little, let your spine lengthen. And then without picking up the feet, so you're actually going to use your thighs to stretch a leg away. Just push, let your knee flop out to the side a little, and then just very gently push the leg away just by using the thigh. It's the only time the sticky mat seems to be super sticky. Let the leg straighten, push the heel away, and do the same on the other side. So again, just using the thigh, letting the knee flop out. It's easier if you let the side of the foot come to the floor a little bit more. And straighten the leg. If the blocks are disturbing your hands, just gently push them away. Roll the shoulder blades deep into the back. Close the eyes. And again, say hello to your shavasana. So your back should feel nice and free. Your shoulder blades are moving deep into the back, so the chest still is a little lifted. The heart feels light. But after those forward bends and the quiet way we've just done, the gentle twist and the back bend, your brain should feel quiet. Your mind should feel quiet. Release the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Soften the cheeks. Release the lower jaw. Relax the skin around the eyes. Broaden the eyebrows and release the forehead, allowing the weight of the head to rest back into the floor. Allow the arms to feel long. The trunk to feel broad and soft. Wherever the body's touching the floor, allow that to spread a little more. Be aware of the weight of the body on the sacrum, the pelvis. you need to release the legs a little bit more, just move them, making sure the lower back is comfortable. If it feels at all awkward, just bend up your knees. Spread the buttock flesh towards the heels. And then if the desire takes you, re-straighten the legs or maintain bent legs. Soften the thighs. Release through the backs of the knees, backs of the hamstrings. Soften and broaden the calves. Release the shins. Soften through the soles of the feet. Feel where the air is touching the skin. And allow the skin to bathe there. Gentle inhalation, gentle exhalation. Stay for as long as you want. Remember when you get up to just gently bend the elbows. Bend up the legs one at a time. Rolling over onto your right side. You don't have to do it now, you can do it when you're ready. Rest on your right side. Look down at the floor, pressing into the hands. Lift yourself back up to seated. Become humble to the Lord within. Namaste.